Nicolas Barre, who is a journalist with Lee's Eco, is joining us. He just interviewed Prime Minister Modi ahead of his departure from India to France. Nicholas, many thanks for joining us. The interview is in French. We await the English translation, but give us the big takeaways from the interview. What's on the cards? What was the big message of Prime Minister Modi to France, to India, and on India-France relations?
Well, first of all, I think it's clearly very important for the French president to welcome Prime Minister Modi in Paris today and tomorrow. Bastille Day is a very, very popular event in France, and millions of people watch this military parade. It's quite popular. So, and it's a great honor for us to receive the Prime Minister. I think that's the way the French president sees that, and thinks that the Indian-French relationship is really strategic. Now, the messages that we got from the Prime Minister when we interviewed him was that, of course, he wants to deepen this relationship, but also he talked about the role of India on the world scene, and that was one of the key points of the interview. He wanted to stress that India has a special role in the international community, a role of he mentioned a role of a leader of the global South, and saying that many countries have not been, the rights of the global South have long been denied. That's one of the things he told us. And India wants to be the sort of advocate of these countries.
Right. Also, Nicholas, there are going to be a lot of important defense deals.
That's
if you could just enlighten us on what Prime Minister Modi said on Make in India and technology transfer, because these have been the important thrusts of the Indian administration when it comes to policy formulation on defense cooperation with various countries. So Make in India and technology transfer.
Yes, well, it's really important. There has been some, it's for many years, as you know, there have been some cooperations between France and India on technology and on defense in particular. French firms have cooperated with the Indian Army for a very, very long time. Now there's these discussions around a new aircraft Rafale, which there will be probably a deal that will be announced very soon on that, or confirmed at least. But there's a lot of interest on both sides, I believe, to deepen that cooperation. We understand that India wants to diversify its sources of armaments, and also it's clearly very important for France to be able to cooperate with many countries in this ground on defense.
Well, also, Nicholas, India and France are quite uniquely positioned. President Macron coming out of the NATO summit, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be in Paris. On the Russia-Ukraine war, we know that India is quite differently positioned, but also France engages Moscow. On that front, what's the conversation? Where do you see France and India align on the Russia-Ukraine war?
I think the two countries are aligned on many things and on many issues. You heard President Macron saying several times that France and Europe in general, but need to have an autonomous strategy and take, for example, some distance with the United States on issues like Taiwan and this confrontation with China. So France has a little more distance, probably, than other Western countries, and wants to have its own path, its own autonomous strategy, and that's probably something that India is interested by. We also have common interests in the Asia Pacific region because, as you know, France has some territories in the region, some islands, and so we have an interest in maintaining peace in the region, freedom of navigation, of trade, and that's also an issue on which the two countries share the same goals and the same, in a way, the same strategy.
Right. On a personal note, Nicolas, how was it interviewing the Prime Minister? How did this interview take place? How long was it? If you could just give us snippets of what really happened and how did the interview take place for you personally?
Well, it was very simple, very direct. The Prime Minister spoke to me at the beginning in English, and then, of course, during the interview he switched to Hindi. But it was we found a man who looked really dynamic and has a great charisma. So it was frank and direct, I would say.
All right. On that note, Nicolas, thank you so much for joining us here on India Today.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.